Good evening and welcome to the Cherry Hill High School West graduation. Welcome to the class of 1984. Family, friends, teachers, administration, Board of Education members. We are here to honor this class and to join them on this joyous occasion. Before we go on, I would like to introduce our platform guests. Dr. Stephen Barbell, President of the Board of Education. Mr. James Marino, Vice President of the Board of Education. Board of Education members, Mrs. J. Halpern, Mrs. Faith Jerome, Mrs. Sylvia Misbin, Mrs. Marianne Rafferty, Mrs. Barbara Richterman, Mrs. Eleanor Stoffman, our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. John McKeon, Deputy Superintendent, Mr. Roland Hill, Assistant Superintendents, Mr. James Walsh, Dr. Robert Ferris, Mr. Richard Service, Administrative Assistant, Mr. William Laub, Supervisor of Secondary Education, Dr. Richard Levy, Principal of the Malberg School, Mr. Seymour Wallach, and West English teacher, Dr. Ann Lyons. Also, accompanying me on the podium are Mr. Warren Jordan, House Principal for the class of 1984, Mr. Ed Mello, Advisor to the class of '84, members of the class who will be speaking this evening, Stephen Kessler, Class Governor, Leslie Higuchi, Valedictorian, Michael Goldman, President of the National Honor Society, and Adora English and Gillian Gerson, who are members of the senior class government.
Today, we give thanks that we are able to assemble with our family and friends for this special day of graduation. We are grateful also for the love and guidance of our parents, teachers, and faculty who have helped us reach this day. As we prepare to take up new challenges, we pray for strength, happiness, health, courage, and the ability to make the right decision. I would like to offer a quotation from Cat Stevens. Take your time, think a lot, think of everything you've got, for you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I would like to ask the faculty members who have come to help us honor these young people to stand up and be recognized. Will the faculty members please rise? These are the people who have chosen to spend their lives working with young people, helping them to expand their horizons and to prepare for the future. Someone said that the object of teaching is to enable the students to get along without their teachers. The staff and I hope that we have prepared the students to go on successfully without us. I thank all of the faculty for helping to give our students a beautiful commencement. I want to say a special thanks this evening to two of our Cherry Hill West staff who are retiring this year. Miss Winifred Whalen, and Mr. Donald Buckley. On behalf of the staff, the students, and the Cherry Hill community, it is my honor to express sincere appreciation for many years of dedicated service to the students of Cherry Hill West. We wish you well. There is another person who is in our thoughts this evening, who is remembered with affection by many of the members of the class of 1984, Mrs. Zelda Morris, who loved this class dearly. Mrs. Morris passed away last summer. We pay tribute to her memory at this ceremony, and we remember her with love. I would like to tell you that I'm both sad and happy for the members of the class of '84 and their families. I'm happy that they have this special occasion to celebrate. It's an exciting time to be more independent and to find out what it is you really want to achieve. On the other hand, I am sad because I'm saying goodbye to friends who have been very special to me. I love them very much. They have made my time at West a joy. This is a warm, caring, wonderful class. They're intelligent and very talented. My wish for this class is that whatever hopes and dreams you have become realities. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Steve Kessler, Governor of the class of 1984.
Honored guests, Mrs. Katz, faculty, parents, and fellow graduates. It was early in September, in the fall of 1980, when we entered West for the first time. We were lost and in awe of our new surroundings. It was in that first year that we celebrated West's 25th anniversary. The Phillies would win the World Series, and West would have the honor of meeting Vice President Walter Mondale. In the next year, we would also have a new principal, Mrs. Joan Katz, whom we have all grown to love and respect. During our high school days, we have experienced many different emotions related to, but sometimes far removed from our personal lives. We survived the assassination attempts on the lives of President Reagan and Pope John Paul. We also took part in the Iranian hostage crisis, although we're helpless to do very much about it. We also would lose two very close friends of the West community with the passing of Dr. and Mrs. Jonah C. Morris. Although we were concerned by those unfortunate events, we used them to grow, to learn, to become better people, but most of all, we used them to understand our values in life. Then there were those happy memories that we'll treasure for a lifetime. Some of us went south to the sunny beaches of Florida and Walt Disney World, while others flew west to perform on stage in San Francisco. Yet others simply went to the Jones Gym and took part in West's second annual beach party. We set a school record and became the only class to win the one-act play festival 3 years in a row. We cheered the Sixers to a world championship and watched our own sports teams have winning seasons. We laughed when the class of '82 elected a guy as their homecoming queen. But this year we topped that and had the first Mr. Cherry Hill West competition. But the highlight of both our junior and senior years has to be the two beautiful proms that we attended late in May. On the academic side, we took the SATs and applied to many colleges. While some class members waited for acceptance letters, others, who were not planning to attend college, looked for jobs as they planned to enter the working world. But today, we have reached the happy conclusion of all this. Our last reminiscence are of today, our graduation. Our years at West have come to a close. We all have experienced the ups and downs of high school life. And now we owe many thanks to our parents, to our friends, to our teachers, for without their encouragement, we might not have made it. Fellow graduates, thank you for the help you have given to me, and good luck and much success to each and every one of you in the future.
It is now my privilege to introduce Leslie Higuchi, who is the #1 student academically in her class, the class valedictorian. Leslie?
Honored guests, Mrs. Katz, faculty, parents, fellow graduates. There is an ancient wise parable that applies to all of us here today. A traveling man gave each of his 3 servants money in currency of talents. To the first servant, he gave 5 talents, to the second, 2, and to the third, 1 talent. The talents were given out according to each man's special abilities. The first 2 servants multiplied their talents through investments and became richer for it. However, the third servant, afraid of losing his 1 talent, buried it in the earth and was punished. He was told to give his 1 talent to the servant with 10, and then was cast into outer darkness. The last servant was punished because he had buried the talent which he was given. He had the same opportunity and obligation to invest his 1 talent to gain more as the other servants had done. It did not matter how many talents he had, but what he did with what he had. This parable relates to us symbolically. We were each given talents, not in money as in the parable, but in ability. One might call it potential. In physics, potential energy is defined as stored energy. The object with potential energy has the ability to do work. Yet, if there is no work, no transfer of this energy, the potential energy will just sit idle, accomplishing nothing. At West, we were given opportunities to use our potential, not only in academics, but also in various activities. Whether it was working in the wood shop, drawing in an art class, or playing in the marching band, they are all areas in which we had chances to develop our talents. The opportunities go on. Many of our classmates took interest in clubs, from the school newspaper, Lion's Roar, to the International Club. Others worked toward winning seasons in sports, such as in soccer and in lacrosse. Whatever our involvement was in our school, it occurred only after we took the initiative to take advantage of the opportunities we were offered to reach the goals we had set. Now it is time for us to leave West and to move on to new beginnings. We should remember the parable of talents as we face the future. As we set out into the world, we will make new dreams and set new goals, as we did when we entered high school. Henry David Thoreau wrote in his journal Walden, "If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. After we have established our dreams, we have to work, use our potential, and transfer our energy into the realization of our dreams. We will never all be together here again. We are all going out along our different paths. Whatever direction we take, it is up to us, our obligation, to use the talents which we were given to achieve our dreams and goals and make them into realities. Good luck to each of you in our class of 1984. Thank you.
Honored guests, Mrs. Katz, faculty, parents, and fellow graduates. Charles Dickens never graduated from high school, but I am sure that that 19th century author would have loved an ending like this, because it's just like a work of 19th century fiction. The main characters aspire, achieve, get depressed, get well, love, laugh, cry, and in the end, they graduate. Well, the characters at West do anyway. And along with the diploma comes some hugging, trading pictures, and new thoughts, including sadness and even a little anxiety. Because we never had to look down the road before. We always had a plan to follow. We had to get up for school the next day. Then there were memories made on weekends and kisses in between classes. But now, those are fading behind us. We never had to think, will I see you again? Because we knew that we were in 8th period together, and we would see each other then. So when we came to school, we saw everything the same. But now, we see all of the changes at once. But of course, it is not all sadness. Why would there be such cheering and jumping up and down if there were not some hope with the thought of starting over? Soon, we'll all be a little paralyzed with joy when we realize that finally we have arrived. We have new situations. We can wake up to the sun in our faces instead of the Monday morning alarm clocks. We can have new attitudes too. We can smile at the things that used to annoy us and try to be ourselves just a little bit more each day. We will have new best friends to study with and to party with and to make lasting memories with. And maybe some of us will even find the true romances that just never seemed to come our way before. Perhaps we will now achieve our dreams among the millions of changes that have suddenly lain the universe at our feet. So these are some of the thoughts that have been mingling with the air for the last few weeks. Graduation is a two-sided event, the sadness of letting go of the past and the expectation of the future. But pretty soon, we'll all be oblivious to even this, and all we'll be able to think is how darn hard it is to say goodbye. We are the characters, and we deserve an ending like this. To look back on the first pages and realize how much we have experienced, and to plan ahead, to begin composing the sequel to this real-life journey called high school. Thank you.
the signs along the way. Each term will bring a different view to us, working together day to day, together, together. And when the evening comes, we smile, so much of life ahead. We'll find a place where there's room to grow. Yes, we've just begun. We've only just begun. We've only just begun.
Honored guest, Mrs. Katz, fellow faculty, parents, and our awesome graduates. What I do is me, for that I came. A line from a poem by the British poet Gerard Manley Hopkins. As I reflected on just what message I should leave with you today, these words came to me again and again. What I do is me, for that I came. In his sonnet, the poet Hopkins explores the meaning of each creature's life. He begins, "As kingfishers catch fire, dragonflies draw flame. The kingfisher, a small scarlet bird, appears as a radiant flame when the sun catches her in flight. So too the dragonfly, a seemingly insignificant insect, appears equally radiant when silhouetted by light." The poet, in offering us these images of life, attempts to illustrate natural beauty, brilliance, and warmth, the spirit of life. What I do is me, for that I came. Hopkins follows these images of sight with imagery of sound, such simple sounds as echoed by a stone, a musical note, a bell. The tongue of each, the stone ringing in the well, the plucked note of a guitar, the chime in a tower. Each of these simple things exists to call out its essence, to tell the world that it is. Hopkins writes, "They fling their names out broad and wide, saying, 'What I do is me, for that I came.'" This evening, I see proud parents, proud teachers, and you, proud graduates. Indeed, everyone has a right to be proud today, not simply because you are a member of the West class of 1984, but because you are you. If Gerard Manley Hopkins were to write you a poem to celebrate the beautiful spirit of the life in each of you, he might say to the world, "Look at that spark of beauty. Listen to that ring of truth. Heed their mission and reason for being. Respect and appreciate their music and their fire." That's what Hopkins would say, and that's what I say. The degrees, the accomplishments, the worries, the sufferings, the fears that will make up your lives are really no more than distractions, secondary happenings, because they are not necessarily true reflections of you. The primary element of your life, the key to your peace and happiness does not lie in your future. It is here, now, present in the gift that is you. Your fire, your bell, your song, the poem of yourself. So then, graduates, approach life knowing that you indeed are someone very special. The message that I bring to this celebration from those of us who have been privileged to teach you at West is one of assurance that while we take joy in your present achievement, we take far more joy from having been part of your lives, having listened to the sound of your learning, having seen the beauty of your beings. And we urge you, whether kingfisher or dragonfly, sounding bell or ringing strings, each of you, share yourself with this world who needs you. What you do is you, for that you came.
At this time, Mr. Warren Jordan, the House Principal for the class of 1984, will address the class.
My message will be brief. You respond beautifully, thank you. Now, I asked to speak to this class of '84 because working so closely with them, I got to know them. And I want to tell the parents that you do have fine young people. And I want to thank you for permitting me to spend this time with your young people. In our initial meeting in September, I had some questions. I couldn't see this group moving as quickly as other groups. But I guess after the beginning of the year, it started to happen. I could see that their intensity in their academics, I could see a dedication to their class. I could see the pride that they started to assume. And as the year run on, I certainly can say that I enjoyed every minute with them. I want to personally thank the staff for guiding them, the class of '84, through the academic complexities and preparing them for higher education or off to the business fields. It's nice to see in our profession, when you see the human relationships working harmoniously, the sharing, the giving, the feeling, the sensitivities, you're proud to say, I am a member of that profession. And as parents, to think that your young people can accept and in this preparation because they will be rewarding themselves. So at this time, I will say to this class, remember this is your school. Next year, 5 years, whatever. The doors are open to you. We are here to help you in any way we can. And for my closing remarks, you've heard it so many times. Now I think you'll believe it. I love you dearly. Thank you.
Dr. Barbell is president of the Cherry Hill Board of Education. Dr. Barbell, as the principal of Cherry Hill High School West, I present the class of 1984 and assure you that they have fulfilled all of the requirements necessary to certify them for graduation.
On behalf of the Cherry Hill Board of Education, I accept the Cherry Hill High School West class of 1984 and authorize its commencement. It is a great pleasure for me to represent the Cherry Hill Board of Education in accepting the Cherry Hill High School West class of 1984 for graduation. I feel as though, in a small way, that I am part of this class, not only because my son is one of you, but also because I personally have come to know so many of you through the years. I wish each of you nothing but success in the years ahead. As Thomas Malloy so eloquently defined the joys of a life spread before oneself, what greater joy than to seize all life has to offer and to make the most of what we have and who we are as we prepare the way to a bright and beautiful tomorrow. Good luck to you all.
I am thrilled to be standing here today to offer you congratulations, for I can speak not only as a board member, but as the parent of one of the graduates of the class of '84. Because my son is sitting there among you, I feel especially close to this class. I have seen so many of you grow up, experiencing the joys and difficulties of that process. So many of you have been in my home and celebrated occasions with us. There's a sense of family with this graduating class. And with that in mind, I feel that I can offer you some very useful advice, but it's not mine alone. Benjamin Franklin offered it over 200 years ago when he said, "Resolve to perform what you ought. Perform without fail what you resolve." More recently, Edward Bach phrased it this way: "Find your place and hold it. Find your work and do it. And put everything you've got into it." What Franklin, Bach, and I are advising you is to be active, involved participants in your society. Do not passively accept conditions that influence your lives and your individuality, but rather influence, indeed perhaps alter those conditions which affect you, your family, your neighbors, and your society. The key words suggest activity: find, do, resolve, perform. Knowing this class as I do, I am convinced that you have the capacity, the intelligence, and the talent to accomplish this. I have great faith in you. Your parents have great faith in you. And to the parents, I'd like to share a thought that was expressed by a contemporary author and mother. She wrote, "I see children as kites. You spend a lifetime trying to get them off the ground. You run with them until you're both breathless. They crash. You add a longer tail. They hit the rooftops. You pluck them out of the spout. You patch and comfort, adjust and teach. You watch them lifted by the wind and assure them that someday they will fly. Finally, they are airborne, but they need more string, and you keep letting it out. And with each twist of the ball of twine, there is a sadness that goes with the joy, because the kite becomes more distant. And somehow you know that it won't be long before that beautiful creature will snap the lifeline that bound you together and soar as it was meant to soar, free and alone. Only then do you know that you did your job. So you see, perhaps it is because of you, the parents of the graduating class of 1984, that the future does indeed look promising and exciting. Your sons and daughters will find their place and hold it. They will find their work and do it. They will put everything they've got into it. They will perform without fail what they resolve. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the Vice President of the Board of Education, Mr. James Marino.
Mrs. Katz, members of the faculty, friends of the class of 1984, and graduates. This evening, I wish to speak to you not as a member of the Board of Education, but as a parent. 12 and a half years ago, my wife and I moved a family of 3 young children to this community because we felt that it offered an excellent educational system in which to help our children grow. At mid-year, my eldest son joined the kindergarten class at the Cole School of Fond Memory, and tonight sits among you as a member of this fine class. You are graduates of one of the finest schools in the state of New Jersey, in fact, in the nation, and of that you should be proud. I have followed your careers with more than usual or casual interests and have discerned among you a growing bond of concern for each other's welfare, and for this I commend you. This caring attitude undoubtedly has been nourished by the many fine and caring teachers you have enjoyed along your paths to graduation. Teachers personified in a special way this evening by Mrs. Winnie Whalen, who in retiring joins you this evening in her own special commencement. I wish that it was in my power to give each of you a special personal gift, but that's beyond my resources. I would suggest, however, that you might give yourselves and the world such a special gift. Go out into the greater world in whatever pursuits you may choose, carrying this caring attitude with you, and it should act as a leavening, bringing you and the world a gift we all sorely need: peace. May God love you as we do and protect you as we have. Congratulations.
I would ask my fellow board members and members of the Board of Education to join me in distributing the diplomas to the members of the class. Mrs. Katz, will you assist us, please, by having the names of the class of 1984 read aloud?
Mr. Edmund Mello and Mr. Warren Jordan will proceed to the microphones and read the names of the graduates.
Stephen Kessler, Gillian Gerson, Adora Lynn English, Leslie Masumi Higuchi, Michael David Goldman, Ike Carabases, Nadine Lesnowski, Lawrence John DeChico, Abby Jane Wennick, Evan Mark Leveau, Maria Antonelli, Jeffrey Stewart Lyons, Allison Gail Gratch, Kevin Andrew Burke, Deborah Wendy Kramer, John Eric Spar, Phyllis Sue Jaffe, Tong Duck Ho, Tracy Lynn Brumall, Joseph Francis Gallo, Colby Heather Grossman, Adam Harris Jonas, Heidi Beth Newman, Kenneth Jeffrey Janone,
Vivian Sue Wu, Barry Lee Ehrlich, Anastasia Basulis, David Michael Kay, Allison Jill Hausner, James Walter Coleman, Esther Renee Harris, Robert Aaron Keller, Maria Lords Kemba, Andrew Thomas Shannon, Stephanie Lukyai Pan, Edward Christopher Sechrist, Lisa Kim Weiss, Mark Canale, Andrea Nadine Klein, Bobby R. Gupta, Carol Ann Burke, Mark Harris Stoffman, Stacy Neal Cohen.
Brett Lawrence Malotsky, Janine Elisa Pike, Scott Andrew Katz, Roxanne Wallace, David Michael Abrowitz, Bonnie Elaine Wall, Keith Brian Ludwig, Joan E. MacArthur, Michael Paul Carvin, Dana Susan Rose, Andrew Charles McHenry, Deborah Eileen Strasberg, Barry Frank Medvin, April Helene Ambrosi, Brian Neil Barbell, Robin Lee Citron, John Eustace McCall, Lorraine Mary Berry, Samuel Kessler,
Stacy Beth Walkus, Kenneth Paul Fox, Hasmic McCarrion, Gabriel V. DiMassimo, Brenda Lee Marotti, J. Gregory Marino, Leslie Ann McDonough, Daniel George Tucci, Lisa Renee Haynes, Robert Glenn Fisher, Susan Lenz Mansdorfer, James Gary Avalone, Linda Michelle Macri, Jordan Scott Maltz, Stacy Ann Jaroszewski, Ronald Sanders, Kimberly Susan Corella, Martin Eric Ware, Ruth Frances Masters,
Matthew Stephen Cohen, Joan Marie Frank, Stephen Ira Kornbluth, Karen Lee Kelly Derringer, Mark DiPietro, Carla D. McCargo, David Harris Greenberg, Colleen Lee Corey, Aaron Elliott Baronoff, Darcy Jean Barbelios, Neil Richard Frankel, Kathleen M. Rowan, Michael James Crovetti, Amy Lynn Batalico, Paul A. Moran, Karen Joy Greenwald, Mark Bruce Steele, Lisa Ann Myers, Joseph Nathaniel Blue,
Andrea Gita Schwartz, Brian K. Buck, Valerie A. Genzano, John A. D'Amico, Lauren Doreen Hart, Donald George Matlack, Eleonora Babato, Gary Lewis Brown, Margaret Ann Benowski, Eric Jason Lee, Rosemary Cynthia Fantozzi, Keith Allen Kruger, Michelle Ann Farino, Stephen Boone, Kim Andrea Glazer, David Kenneth Honus, Susan Lisa Hearn, David Bornowski, Audrey Claire Sklar,
Andrew David Weinberg, Nina Jill Mona, James Darrell Smith, Lisa Ann York, Paul George Zorbalis, Jacqueline Maria Morris, William Russell Caldwell, Rita Marie Meehan, Anthony Julian Garamano, Tracy Ann Picardi, William J. Henwood, Wendy Morris Pomeroy, David Scott Hathaway, Kimberly Mary Pearson, Thomas Joseph Massaro Jr., Stephanie Ann Katz, Ross Allen Levin, Karen Michelle Vile, Kevin M. McConville,
Marla Ann Toporov, Daniel G. Campbell, Donna Lee Filan, Kevin Mark Wallace, Dorothy Elaine Link, Michael Smorito, Cindy Merrill Rosenthal, Raymond Clifford Horner III, Lacey Rochelle Barley, F. Sean Webster, Michelle Teresa Malazzo, Stephen P. DiStefano, Geneva Ann Doherty, David Vincent Caldwell, Sherry Lynn Disson, Kenneth William Hockenberry, Michelle Corin Baker, John C. White, Andrea Jean Dolly,
Seth Barnett Klukoff, Linda Ann Turner. Michael DiDomenico. Lisa Maria Favieri. James Richard Hauk. Nancy Damiani. John Patrick Markey. Arnica Harms. Anthony Francis Calzaretto. Carrie Ann Banks. Lawrence August Binzak, Jr. Michelle Salvatore. Anthony Kamir. Sandra Joan Schechtman. Michael Walden. Kathleen Louise Shields. Michael Joseph Wills. Susan Wendy Seidel. Hung Vin Dong.
Cheryl Sue Robbins. Eric John Mignona. Esther Michelle Goodstein. George Macropolis. Kathleen Elise Wright. Michael Visco. Carolyn E. Marotti. Eric A. Lamella. Ilana Michelle Cohen. Neil Allen Lappinson. Kathleen Francis Franzek. Christopher Esposito. Kimberly Beth Brown. Neil Eric Weiss. Pragna Gandhi. Stephen Jankowski. April Louise Gardner. Michael V. Johnson. Susan Carol Gruber.
Richard Anthony Pensabene. Fran Marie Vaneski. Mark J. Goralnik. Beth Ellen Katinsky. Raymond John Kraft III. Marilyn Sue Mullaney. Michael G. Meeker. Carolyn Margaret Humes. Robert Ray McCormick. Nina Ramona Johansson. David Mark Katinsky. Kim Marie Heller. Joseph Charles Olivo. Rebecca Jean Holderness. Harold J. Orell. Jennifer G. Kermsey. David Fitzgerald Gaskins. Rachel Ellen Wolfe. Gregory Brian Nestor.
Janet Ruth Duran. Harry Francis Clark. Erica Diane Gregory. John Robert Perla. Lynn Jerry Appa. Gary Mark Wilson. Diana Lynn Anderson. James Robert Demzak. Patricia Ivy Bustard. Kevin Charles Cook. Cheryl Faith Cohen. Brandon Scott Fay. Julian E. Bazin. Andrew Lawrence Feinberg. Deborah Ann Beckett. Scott Michael Christ. Mary Elizabeth Wren. Leonard James Corus. Myjung Kim.
J. Benjamin Schrager. Diane Furphy. Joseph David Janda. Agnes Kathleen Zielsdorf. Thomas Paul D'Onofrio. Margaret Rose Donahue. Alan Bruce Orman. Pamela Elaine Kay. Thomas Philip Eisler. Christy Tori Parocco. Mel Ahero. Jill Deborah Friedman. John Chol Choi. Deborah Ann Hoger. Christopher Eric Robb. Natalie Friedman. Richard Anthony Bergren. Dorit Shulamit Eichhorn. Scott Lewis Ehrlichman.
Lisa Ann Dunley. James M. Pratt. Pamela Louise Clark. Adam Prussell. Kathleen Lucille Golub. Anthonius Nick Mamas. Julia Ellen Bogus. Paul Goodearly. Joanne Michelle Fleming. John Eric Goldman. Thuvan Nyak View. David Michael Gagnon.
5 years, of course.
Denise Fishbach. William Davis Madara. Carol Lynn Dilks. Ju Min Wang. Maureen Sharon Hand. Michael Allen Latagona. Karen Joan Haley.
Constantine James Pappas. Bonnie Sue Cole. Andrew Michael Davis. Carolyn Ann Bide. Robert Mark Posman. Dawn Marie Bingham. William Frank Davidson. Elizabeth Cuccinata. James Eric Bogger. Donna Lynn Baberick. John Eugene Naughton. Joanne Frame Manucci. John Carey Cunningham. Irma Lorena Delgado. William Demopoulos. Melissa Peyton Brooks. Arthur Presby Colburn. Annette Carter. Dennis Bruce Krumanacher.
Amy Jane Van Sickle. Ross L. Foreman. Diane Marie Dunn. David Neil Gordon. Susan Rose DeMarco. Scott Anthony Feely. Karen Lee Eggleston. Charles Lewis Brodsky. Regina C. Fontana. Kevin Donald Bernard. Cynthia Frances Frunzek. Vincent Joseph Doherty. Serena Joy Beveridge. Dean John Delfico. Carol Denise Kwasniewski. Paul Philip Bowers. Mary M. McElrath. Joseph A. Peary. Carol L. Slayton.
John David Olszewski. Bonnie Lee Slim. James Andrew Nitz. Janet Michelina Siriani. Roberto A. Ramirez. Steffi R. Schwartz. Eric John Peralta. Allison Sarno. Michael Joseph Orzakowski. Jill Allen Pulaski. Robert Charles Barr. Robin Leslie Schoen. Thomas Joseph Hulsa. Mildred Michelle Snap. Gary Eric Bromke. Dina Michelle Sassano. Stephen Edward Greenberg. Terry Marie Segrin. Derek Douglas Reardigan.
Mindy Burkett. Jeffrey Michael Gaskill. Victoria Evelyn Malone. Nunzio Anthony Greco. Karen Lynn Doherty. Jim P. Reyes. Stephanie Miller. Rodney John Caton. Linda L.H. Pan. John Bernard Ryle. Suzanne Louise Gaylord. Joseph J. Scardino. Stephanie Danella. William Martin Ryder. Marie Vic Derla Den Una. Rita Colleen O'Connor. Douglas William Rimby. Lisa A. Wells.
Vincent James Nolan III. Nancy Tonsession. Shaheen Michael Mirmanesh. Karen Regina Wyrock. Vin Quoc Tang. Maria Elena Troisi. Darren Mark Brandenburg. Deborah Ann Straub. Brett Michael Silver. Stacy Sullender. Brian Francis Murray. Joy Taylor. Tun Min Wing. Fotini Theodore Kasulis. Joseph Taraki. Stacy Nadine Wilkes. Charles Richard Wagner. Margaret Mary Lappin. David Robert Zane.
Renee Deborah Goldberg. Charles J. Redner. Donna Jean Orlock. Gary Ivan Rosen. Barbara Parker. Frank Reinhold Schwinn. Denise Petrie. Oleg Shu. Benna Robin Plone. Stephen David Sperling. Elizabeth Ann Repus. John Subesis. Andrea Scavuzzo. Donald Edward Sullender. Mary Sela. Rakesh Tawari. Kimberly Dawn Taylor. Kenneth Mitchell Singer. Tanya Lee West.
Alexander Zinon Lissabe, Amy Ellen Woolley, Aaron Edward Zelligson, Mandy Zeitz, Marianne Zafiri, Lisa Catherine Yacovel,
Amy Virginia Sharpless, Gary Ira Fogelman, Lan Lai Nguyen, Robert Allen Warhaftig, Jacqueline Hope Trump, Richard Watson, Mamta D. Patel, Mitchell J. Carroll.
A benediction is intended to be a spiritual message of happiness and success to graduates at the end of their high school career. I would just like to take this brief moment to quote from the book of Genesis, "May the Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent from one another." I wish you all good luck and happiness in your futures, wherever they may lead you. Thank you.